I have an 8 by 11 and an 8 by 8 pan. We greased it with olive oil so that it doesn't burn, and we make sure we even do the sides. I've already done that. And then next we're going to cook the hamburger meat and add the ragu to it after the hamburger meat is done. And then we're going to start layering everything. And here's the ricotta cheese that I use with 1 egg and basil and oregano. And you put as much as you like. If you like more oregano or more basil, you can do as much as you like. Okay, now we're going to cook the meat and just salt it to your seasoning or as much flavor you want to put in there. That's up to you, but I just use regular salt. Cooking, I get the ricotta cheese, put it in a different bowl so you have enough room to mix it. Try to get all the ricotta out. Okay, now I'm going to add my egg. And then our seasoning, which is oregano. And put a lot, because when you mix it, it'll mix in really well. And the basil. And then it'll give you that Italian flavor that you like in the lasagna. And we mix. And if for some reason you don't feel like you have enough of the oregano or basil, you can add more when it's all mixed together. I usually mix it until I don't see no more yellow in the egg, and that's when you know it's really all mixed together. Okay, so usually it's a pound of hamburger meat, and after it's cooked, then you just add your Ragu sauce or spaghetti sauce, but this is the one that has the Parmesan and the Romano in it and gives it more cheesy flavor. And you just let it mix in together, because this is one of the ingredients you're going to add to the layers. Alright, so here is our ricotta cheese, and it is mixed really well because you see all specks in there. So that means it's ready to go. We will start layering. So we'll start with the sauce. We don't have to cook it or anything because it's going to go in the oven that's preheated to 400. So we just get enough for the bottom of the pan. Okay. Since this is a small pan, it'll only need 2 of the shells, and this one will need 3. Try not to overlap. You might a little bit go overlapped, but that's okay as long as it's not the whole thing. And that should be good enough. Then we're going to use the ricotta cheese as another layer, and we're going to layer it all the way across. Just spread a thin layer to make it look like it's covered. Okay, so after we have layered it with the ricotta cheese, then we're going to put a layer of mozzarella cheese like we did on this side. So I'm just showing you what it looks like before and after. You just layer the cheese. You don't have to overdo it, just enough to cover. But some people like lots of cheese, so it's your preference. So next we're going to layer with the hamburger meat that has some sauce. It doesn't have to be like, you know, completely on every part of it, just as long as you get some meat in there, because it's just giving you that meaty flavor. But some people like my husband likes a lot of meat on his lasagna. And without cheese, then, I mean without the meat, you can just leave it with cheese and then you just start layering it over again. We're going to add another layer of the lasagna oven ready shells. And if you don't want meat on yours and you just want it cheesy, then we just add some sauce and then we put the shells on this one. This is without the meat, just if someone just wants it with cheese, so that you have the flavor and the sauce, and so it won't be just cheese, you add some sauce to it. And we will mix it into so it has the sauce in there. And then we start to layer again. So now we are layering again with the mozzarella, since we did the ricotta. Now it's mozzarella. And then you start with your sauce again, or your meat sauce, whichever one you are doing with cheese, with the meat or without meat. Okay, so the next layer again is the meat. And then you just layer one more time after this, and then you should be done. It's usually 3 layers is how we do it. Okay, we are done adding the layer of meat sauce or just sauce, whichever you prefer, and then we're going to add another layer of oven ready shells, and you do exactly what you had did before. And now we're just going to do ricotta again, mozzarella cheese, the sauce, and then on the very last we'll add just mozzarella cheese, and then we will be done. We have finished with our 3 layers, so we did it like we did step by step, each layer. Now we're going to add sauce to go all the way around, and the reason we're doing this is because you don't want it dry, and you don't want your shells not to have the sauce on it. So what I do is I usually go around the edges and let it just fall in there. And once I'm done doing that, I will give it a good shake to make sure each side has enough. And if it doesn't look like it has enough, then just add a little bit more. And that's one of the reasons why you put the olive oil, so that it doesn't stick and burn. And we're going to put it in the oven for 35 minutes at 400 degrees. Okay, it's starting to smell good in here, like lasagna. Now we're going to take it out so we can pull off the aluminum foil. Take the cheese off, that's okay. Now what we're going to do is put it back in for another 15 minutes till the cheese turns golden brown. Okay, so we're going to put them back in for 15 minutes or till golden brown. Some ovens may take a little longer or a little less, just keep an eye on it, and then you'll be ready. So here is one finished product. Here is the other. Okay, so here is your finished product with the oven ready layered pasta. Hope you enjoy.